adult should enjoy. And I want to commend Mr. Leo and his faculty and thank Mr. Valdez for the fantastic work you have done. I have watched this project for 2 years, I believe it is. I remember Mr. Leo taking me upstairs and I saw Valdez working on one of the first panels. And Mr. Leo brought me down to the library here and he said, someday, I don't know how soon it's going to be, but we're going to put up a mural all around this school and this library so that everyone who enters this can be awed by the panorama of history as portrayed through a beautiful artist. And at that time, we had one panel done. And he said, I don't know where we're going to get the money. I don't know where we're going to get the time. I don't know how long it's going to take, but we're going to do it. And I'm so delighted to be with you today. Congratulate Mr. Ed Leo, wonderful principal, and all of the fantastic faculty and community of Sanchez for having this auspicious occasion. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Dr. Ellis. I'd also like to introduce to you Dr. Garza, our Associate Superintendent. Dr. Garza, would you come up? We appreciate you taking time to be with us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. I come to Sanchez quite often because all of you make me feel at home. And when I see the beautiful surroundings here that is always so attractive, it always makes you come back because the people here are warm and caring and so sensitive to the needs of our young people. And our young people here gathered this afternoon, I need to tell you that you are certainly the most important people in the world at this time because you're the ones that are the key to the future. And with the leadership that we have here at Sanchez with Mr. Leo and his staff, the assistant principal, Evelyn Wilson, and all of the teachers here, I know that you have an excellent opportunity to be successful. And you have every right to be successful because all of you were born to be somebody. And I would like to leave you with just one thought and one message to all of the young people. Stay healthy, respect your teachers, and love your parents.
Dr. Ellis mentioned when we got started, we didn't know exactly where we were going to get the funds to complete this project. It was a project of major proportion, and we knew we needed a lot of help. Well, we started looking around, we started asking, we started talking to people, we started writing, and we did get a lot of help. This time, Mrs. Rosemary Pardo would like to say thank you to everyone that made this mural possible.
The Texas Commission of the Arts, Southwestern Bell Telephone, Ed Teller Galleries, Sanchez PTA, City of Austin, La Peña, El Teller de Arte Público, the Austin Independent School District, Parque Zaragoza Board, Montablas Recreation Center Board, Alma Valdez, Terry English, and of course, Mr. Leo.
We also would like to say thank you to Ramon Maldonado, Elias Mendez, Comité 5 de Mayo, Pan American Recreation Center, Leonard Flores, Sam Perez, Jose Sainz, Artie Jaime, Moses Guerrero, Joe Head, and Eduardo Vera. Because without their help, we wouldn't have been able to complete this project. We say thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to everyone that's helped. This time, I'd like to introduce our artist, Raul Valdez.
like to thank the following touring out here.
He sure has.
And we always leave people out. Anyway, I think there's a plan, if I could see somebody upstairs. And you ready? So, we're going to do a real unveiling this time. We're going to drop this thing and kind of expose it all of a sudden. And, all right, here goes panel number 1. And this goes back. And that's technical error number 1. And, but anyway, the mural is covering, since we're in the school, in the home of the Sanchez Aztecs. This is the Sanchez Aztecs. And a lot of the kids that come to Sanchez, I would say over 90%, have something in common with those Aztecs. They come from the culture of the corn, too. And anyway, so we would have to refer back to the history of America and remember that corn is our native crop. And fire on the other side of on the opposite wall, we'll have water and air, which are 4 of our elements that we need to take care of, and that's what the mural's talking about in many phases. They're running across, and here comes the other side, and here we have so anyway, we have, that's supposed to be air over there. She's throwing a little paper airplane. Who's that? There it goes, there it goes. Need some help from the air a little bit. And, so anyway, it starts with the beginning and ends with the beginning also, because you refer back to the Cambrian age, the pre-Cambrian, or the Permian age, and all those things as the Earth evolved and all that stuff. So it's actually ending with the beginning. But I'm going to start talking about this end over here real quick, and from the dinosaurs on. And of course, Sanchez kids presented over there. People started making tools here in America, and then they started developing agriculture. And of course, squash was one of the first crops, and then corn. And then from corn, we have tortillas and enchiladas, and what else do we have from corn? Popcorn, and all kind of stuff, right? But anyway, the important thing is that we need to realize that corn is not Hispanic, it's Indian, and a lot of us are Indian, we're mestizos. And, we got to tell our kids the truth, and history is that we're mestizos. And our foods and our mother culture, it comes from the corn, like the Native Americans. And that's something to be proud of. And that's where we can get chile and all those other crops that are out there, like tomate, tomatoes, and stuff like that. Anyway, great civilizations arose, and on the top you see the pyramid of Teotihuacan. And you have a couple of figures there. You have the jaguar and the feathered serpent, which were representational of positive and negative forces, the struggle between the positive and the negative, and the attempt to be balanced and live a good life. And then you have the Hispanics, and they didn't get here until the 1500s or late 1400s, and that's Cortés meeting Montezuma and Malintzin in between as the interpreter, and Pedro de Alvarado right behind them. Anyway, this was in 1521 when they did defeat. And I repeat, we're in the home of the Sanchez Aztecs. This is Sanchez mascot. And so anyway, the Aztecs were defeated then, but not anymore. Now Sanchez wins all the time. And anyway, right next to that, there's a woman with a child in her arms, and the baby has blue eyes. And that's when, see, the majority of people that live in the Americas are mestizos, and that's what that kid is. He's got a Hispanic father and an Indian mother. And, a lot of our kids are mestizos, and that's, as a matter of fact, like I say, in America, the whole of the Americas, the majority of people are mestizos. Characters like on the top, Miguel Hidalgo, who was very significant for this area because he freed this land from the Spaniards. And they freed Mexico, and this was part of Mexico at the time, so it's significant when he talks about, or when they defeated the Spaniards and freed this land from Spain. So anyway, that's on the 16 de septiembre. It's a very significant holiday that we should celebrate. And then Benito Juarez, we just celebrated the Battle of Puebla, and it was around the time of Benito Juarez. Benito Juarez is also not a Hispanic. I just saw a book with Benito Juarez on the cover. It said famous Hispanics or something, well respected in history. And then we have La Adelita, you know, Las Adelitas, or the women of the Mexican Revolution who struggled for justice after 1910. Anyway, as we come forward into history, we jump all the way, all of a sudden, we have the Alamo on the top, of course, and then covered wagons, and came the railroad. And also with that came the destruction of the buffalo and of Native American thought. And Native American thought, most significantly, means that, you know, we live in harmony with nature. We respect the earth, we respect the air, we respect the sun, we respect the natural forces. And we've lost track of that altogether. And I think we should, you know, really stress it in our education so our kids can have a little better future. And that's what the mural is referring to on the other, projecting something hopeful for the future for our kids. Anyway, we get a lot of pollution happening here. Luckily, Austin doesn't look quite as bad as I exaggerated there. But, you know, I'm trying to make a point. And you see all this sludge coming down and all that, and the young girl's hand is actually cleaning it, cleansing it as it hits her hand. And as you see a bone, some fish bones, you know, a dead fish coming down. And over here you have a live fish. And kids are kind of hugging and traveling together, trying to eliminate that toward a cleaner horizon. And then again, the other little girl is tossing a paper airplane out into space. And that's the representation of wind. So we have earth, wind, fire, and water all the way around. And it's basic idea of education should be something that we should really stand for. And I'm talking about education, about something that you know, should contribute to our people, to everybody, and not leave anybody out, and have respect for everybody and one another and all of that. Anyway, thank you very much, and that's like a basic little explanation. Oh, and I can't you know, forget and say that we're very lucky here in this school because of the teachers that are here. There's a lot of good teachers. I've never seen so many good teachers in one place in my whole life. You know, there's a lot of good people here. And there's no kids any place on earth better than the kids from Sanchez. Yeah. Right? And anyway, besides being beautiful, they several hundred of them helped paint on this mural. And some of them are already gone, as a matter of fact. They graduated last year and stuff like that. But several hundred of them actually helped paint and do research, prime, do dirty work, do all kinds of stuff. And I thank every one of them. And anyway, this is for you. And take care of it forever, kids. Thank you.